All right, let's talk a little bit about the history of Python and Python as a programming language. So Python is one of the most popular programming languages and has been for a while. And one of the main reasons for that is that it's very easy to learn. There is a joke going around that you can learn Python in a weekend, and that is partially true, but to learn Python well and to really dig deep takes years. But you can get productive very, very quickly. So that makes Python a good choice. Another reason why Python is so popular is that it is good at many different things. So I really like this quote. I think I can't remember where it comes from, but it says Python is the second best language for everything. And that may not sound very attractive, but if you think about it, it makes it very powerful because it connects many different areas. So for example, R may have some advantages in statistical analysis, in data visualization, but that's where you stop with R. Whereas with Python, you go into the AI world, you can go into the web world, you can go into the automation world. So there are many different applications. Um, Same with JavaScript is probably a better language to learn if you're interested in web development. However, Python is very important and you can do very powerful backend stuff with Python. So there's many examples where Python is useful, and I think it's a good language to learn as a biologist because you do have all the data science and AI stuff, but you can then also explore other things and become productive in other areas that may be useful for your research. A little bit of history. So Python was developed in 1989 by Guido van Rossum. It originally started as a holiday project. Just how can I make a very simple, easily accessible programming language? But it took off very quickly, and initially Python was used as a scripting language, mostly like Perl. But a real sort of game changer was in the 2000s when Python was used more and more for scientific computation and was linked up with C libraries that speed up the back end processing. So these are libraries like NumPy and SciPy that made Python very popular with scientists, and then the whole Python world changed quite a lot, and Python became one of the top choices in data science. And uh, this also was promoted by another library that we will cover very soon in the course, Pandas, which is a core tool for Python for data scientists and very important for biology as well. So that made Python very popular in data science, also in financial world and things like that. And due to that core strengths in data science, Python became the dominant language in machine learning and artificial intelligence. So a lot of the user interaction software that OpenAI uses or Anthropic uses are written in Python. So if you want to work with models and be productive in the AI space, Python is a very useful choice. And today, Python really dominates many areas in the web, in AI, in engineering. So it's a good choice because of this wide spectrum. If you're interested in sort of the background of Python, just a couple of months ago, a documentary was released on YouTube. So if you're interested in that stuff, then I would encourage you to go and watch it. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what Python is like. A few words on the organization. So Python is a open source organization, so it's completely free. It's community driven, so all the effort that goes in is done by volunteers. That there are a few people employed by the Python Software Foundation, but most of what's done is done for free. And I find that actually quite impressive and it's worth reflecting upon, that this tool that powers many companies where billions and billions of pounds or dollars are generated, is done by people like Guido van Rossum, who is not a billionaire. He's probably a comfortable person, but he's by far means in any way in the spectrum of Elon Musk or Zuckerberg or the like. Even though what he generated has really sort of helped so many people make money. So open source I think the philosophy of open source is very interesting and something that we should adopt more in biological sciences as well. There's a few more things to say here. Python has got a very strict development cycle, so every year around October a new version comes out, and there's always incremental improvements. So for example, the last few years has seen a big speed up and also an effort to make it easier to parallelize things, so to use multiple cores. At the moment, the current version of Python is 3.13, and soon in October, as we speak, as this video is recorded, in October 2025, 3.14 will come out. So it's worth watching out for what version of Python you're using. Also, have a look at the website of the Python organization. There's a lot of good documentation, a lot of background information as well. So it's a good website to explore if you're interested in Python and start learning Python. I don't want to spend too much about the programming paradigms and where Python fits in terms of, technically as a programming language. It's an interpreted language. That means it has to be passed on to a compiled language to then be passed on to machine code. That makes it a little bit slower, but it makes it easier to write. So usually compiled languages like C++ or Rust are much more difficult and not very beginner friendly, whereas Python, as it said, you can learn in a weekend, although obviously not good Python, but you can get started very, very quickly. Also, you don't have to define every type when you code, which makes it very nice in the beginning. Later on, this can become a problem as well, but at the moment, you do not need to worry about this too much. So types are very important in languages like C++ or Rust. But initially in Python, you don't need to worry about this. This will probably not mean much to you right now, but we'll talk about it later. So it's fast to write. It's got a huge ecosystem. It's got a very nice community, very friendly. That's another reason why Python is so popular. And it's got a lot of good tools for science. So to finish off the session, just to give you an overview of where Python is used and what who works with Python. So some very famous web tools like Netflix, for example, or Instagram are built with Python. Dropbox, for example, a lot of scientific organizations are based with Python. The machine learning world, the AI world, OpenAI, all the APIs are built around Python. Python and R are probably sort of 50-50 in bioinformatics, but more and more due to the links with machine learning and AI, Python starts to dominate in this space as well. And we will use Python mostly in that space, obviously. But there will be one capstone project which will move also more into AI, because I think this is really the most exciting area at the moment, so I wanted to include this in the course. And this is it in terms of introducing Python. So next we will start talking about the actual project that we do today and hopefully get coding soon.